Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a pretty wild journey that starts right with our everyday bathroom habits and travels all the way to life-saving artificial intelligence in modern hospitals. It's really a story about data, specifically the incredibly fascinating pipeline of kidney data. We're going to explore how the fluids we normally flush without a second thought are literally becoming the foundation for cutting-edge health tracking, and how advanced AI is using similar clinical data to completely revolutionize kidney transplants.
So, let's just dive right into a question you probably never expected to hear today. Is your toilet judging you? Look, I know there's a definite ick factor when we start talking about bodily fluids. But from a medical standpoint, the fluids we flush down the drain every single day are an absolute goldmine for science. We are essentially flushing away a daily snapshot of our internal health. And the digital health industry has absolutely taken notice, asking whether it's time to equip our toilets with health sensors to capture all that data before it just disappears.
Because frankly, a single trip to the bathroom drops a staggering amount of data. We're talking over 3,000 detectable metabolites in human urine alone. It's basically a daily readout of your hydration, your metabolic state, and your hormonal balance. Companies are actually bringing clinical-level analysis directly to the consumer now. Take Withings, for example. Their UScan line uses thermal sensors to collect and analyze urine, tracking things like calcium levels to monitor your risk for kidney stones. And big brands like Toto are even adding dedicated optical sensors to analyze stool for early signs of gastrointestinal issues.
And this kind of tracking, it's already being built right into the physical hardware for our homes. Take Kohler Health's Dakota attachment, for instance. It literally uses a camera to take pictures inside the toilet bowl to detect underlying GI issues, like the presence of blood. Or look at Vovo's Neo Bidet, which integrates urine analysis sensors right alongside standard luxury features, like heated seats. We're seeing a complete digital upgrade of our most basic sanitation hardware.
Now, why does this actually matter beyond just being a weird consumer novelty? Well, Vic Kashyap, the founder of Toy Labs, a company building smart toilet seats for seniors, really hit the nail on the head. He said, when people realize the technology can save lives, particularly in high-risk groups such as older adults, the ick factor goes away. So the crucial point here is that this isn't just for biohackers tracking their macros. It's about vital preventative care. It's about setting up an early warning system in assisted living facilities and hospitals, allowing us to step in before a minor issue blows up into a severe health crisis.
To really grasp how severe these crises can get, check out this number. 16.5%. That is the mortality rate for hospitalized patients who hit stage 2 of something called acute kidney injury. In fact, acute kidney injury affects a massive 22.7% of all hospitalized patients. It is a huge, life-threatening problem.
So, what exactly are we dealing with here? Acute kidney injury, or AKI, is a sudden, super serious condition where you rapidly lose kidney function. You absolutely need prompt detection to stop irreversible damage or, worse, multi-organ failure. The big catch is that traditional diagnosis relies on biological tests that only really show significant changes right before the kidneys are about to fail. By the time those old-school alarms go off, the damage is already happening.
And this is exactly where AI steps in to solve that massive timing issue using real-time predictive data tracking. Think of it like a really sophisticated weather radar predicting a severe storm before it hits. Researchers are building models using convolutional neural networks and long short-term memory models, or LSTMs. These AI systems are constantly crunching massive streams of patient data, picking up on incredibly subtle shifts over time. They can actually predict an impending acute kidney injury before it causes severe damage, giving doctors the precious time they need to jump in and help.
Section 1. The Final Resort. AI in Organ Allocation.
But what happens when prevention just isn't enough and the kidneys completely fail? While patients then have to navigate a highly constrained and, let's be honest, often inequitable organ allocation system to get a transplant. Historically, matching donated kidneys to patients relied on traditional statistical models, like the Kidney Donor Risk Index, or KDRI, which you can see on the left. These are pretty basic, rule-based criteria. But over on the right, that's the new frontier. Artificial intelligence and machine learning models, like DeepServe. These new models use deep neural networks and random survival forest to analyze super complex feature interactions. They aren't just looking at isolated variables, they look at how the whole puzzle fits together to generate a highly precise prediction of survival. And these new models are bringing a massive leap in performance. Deep learning systems are hitting impressive concordance indices, or C indices, of up to 0.72 for predicting long-term graft survival. In the world of medical stats, that shows some really strong predictive accuracy.
By analyzing massive national and international registry datasets, AI is proving without a doubt that it can outperform those traditional risk scoring systems. To hit those kinds of high scores, the algorithms are crunching incredibly specific variables. We're talking donor and recipient age, primary renal disease, and super complex genetic factors like human leukocyte antigen, or HLA, mismatches. They even look at operational stuff like cold ischemia time, which is literally just how long the organ has been outside a body. By processing all of this, the AI treats donor-recipient matching as a highly individualized treatment effect problem. It's basically asking, for this specific patient, what is the exact statistical outcome of this specific kidney?
So the absolutely crucial point here is that this advanced AI isn't just statically predicting who survives, it's actively simulating different matches. By using representation learning and counterfactual models, the AI simulates personalized outcomes across the entire patient pool to recommend matches that maximize the expected graft survival for everyone. In simulated environments, this has literally optimized the wait list, increased total transplants, and cut down overall wait times.
Section 2. Bridging the implementation gap. The catch in health AI.
Okay, all of this AI matching sounds amazing, right? Like a total game changer. Well, let's bring things back down to earth for a second, because there's a massive disconnect between high-performing predictive models and what's actually happening in clinics. A systematic review published in BMC Nephrology highlighted these hurdles perfectly. See, most AI models right now are restricted to retrospective prediction, meaning they're only looking backwards at old data. We have very limited real-world prospective clinical trials testing these algorithms on active waitlists. Because of that, AI predictions are rarely actually integrated into actionable policy. Add in a lack of standardized reporting on missing data, and the fact that patient populations evolve faster than we can calibrate the models, well, you can see why we aren't quite ready to hand over final life-or-death allocation decisions completely to AI. And that brings us to a seriously complex hurdle, the fairness debate. Ethical frameworks are often applied pretty inconsistently in these AI systems. Think about it. An AI is literally designed to maximize utility. It calculates exactly how to save the most total graft years. But left to its own devices, it doesn't automatically guarantee equitable access across different demographic groups. To make sure highly sensitized or underrepresented patients don't just get left behind, developers actually have to build explicit algorithmic constraints and penalties directly into the code. The AI has to be mathematically taught what fairness means. Now let's tie these massive hospital-level ethical dilemmas right back to where we started, the consumer level. Because data ethics aren't just for transplant boards, they're an issue right in our bathrooms. Remember that Kohler Dakota smart toilet attachment? It recently ran to major privacy controversies over misleading end-to-end data encryption claims. Consumers were understandably freaked out that the bowl pictures the device was taking were being used to train Kohler's AI models. Now, the company did state their algorithms are trained on de-identified data only, but it perfectly highlights the very real risks of mishandling our most intimate health data.
Which leaves us facing a critical choice as we push further into this new frontier of digital medicine. Whether it's tracking metabolites in your toilet to catch a disease early or using a neural network to match a life-saving kidney, the tech is undeniably powerful. But here is the question I want you to walk away with. Do the clinical benefits of having your most intimate personal biological data analyzed by AI outweigh the inherent privacy risks? It's a really delicate balance between life-saving innovation and sacrificing personal privacy, and it's a balance we are all going to have to figure out for ourselves very, very soon. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.